Okay, so I gotta be real quiet just because my wife is sleeping right now and it's 4 in the morning. And troopers, you know why we stayed until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, sir.
You know why we're here. This was the Black Friday special that we were waiting for. You saw who I saw, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. You saw who was in it, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just checking. Because I got my ass handed to me by my wife when she found out I was watching season 2 without her. So if you can just calmly hit that subscribe button and like, I will be gladly appreciate it and feel like that ass whooping was not in vain. Starting from the beginning. Yo, Dave Filoni, you a damn hero, man. This was one of the best episodes in season 2 by far, and not because of you know who. And we're about to get into it right now. Off the rip, we get the beautiful Ahsoka Tano, played by the beautiful Rosario Dawson herself. Man, the outfit, the style that she had that was given to her matched her completely. There's no competition whatsoever. That was hands down the best makeup design of Ahsoka Tano I've seen from a live screen perspective. Great job to the cast and crew on that part. But yeah, man, she was bodying these hoes left and right, man, using her normal style, man. She was definitely using the environment to her advantage. And I would argue that the environment that was used gave like a little homage to the Mustafar planet in The Rise of Skywalker with Kylo Ren fighting his own troops. But better. You could definitely tell that Ahsoka is fully in tune with the Force, that she's not really trying to use her lightsabers to steer the narrative of her attacks. She's just becoming one with the environment, using the shadows like a great Jedi would, and just owning, bodying people left and right. It was such a beautiful introduction. It didn't waste any time. After the initial fight, she meets with the main antagonist, tells her that you got one day to steer the narrative back to me to give me what I want so I can be on my way. But the antagonist was like, hold up, swear, you coming to my territory. I got your people. So what you gonna do? How many people is worth this information? 1, 10, 100, you freaking name it. I'll body them like you bodied my troops. She was like, all right, okay. One day, it faded away. Beautiful. Meanwhile, we got the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda flying down to the planet, getting ready to show down and meet up with Ahsoka Tano. Finally, we already knew that the Mandalorian was trying to meet the Jedi just so he can get information and train up Baby Yoda. The main antagonist, not realizing what his intentional goals were, tasked him to kill the Jedi. So having that motivation to help steer the narrative made it so much better to connect the two together. When they interact with each other for the first time, you know, in real world scenario, like Boba Fett was there, he would have got his ass clapped right then and there, hands down. That armor is something else, man. And that spear that the antagonist offered to the Mandalorian, I think the type of metal was talked about before, especially in the season of Mandalorian, obviously. But I didn't realize how powerful that could really be. It's like comparable to the dark saber, how it can block lightsaber attacks. I always thought that the lightsaber was like indestructible. Nothing can surpass a lightsaber. Clearly not. So they finally get together, and now Baby Yoda, Ahsoka Tano, Mandalorian, we're all there. Finally, we get the crew. This is it. And she tells him that she can't train him. Boy, that was kind of a letdown for me, but at the same time I expected that to happen because we were too early into the season 2. There was no way Ahsoka was going to be like, oh, we got the Jedi, thank you, let's train her up like Rey and make him great again. But hey, we didn't get that, of course. But this process is going to take its time. And speaking of time, we finally realized that the reason why she doesn't want to train him is because of affection, which I find it kind of odd because she's not really a Jedi anymore. She disavowed the order. So she's typically a great Jedi that doesn't follow Jedi code or Sith code to the T. So wouldn't it be okay to allow some form of affection, some form of drive to it? She added a good point. She made a good point through her history, which we all seen, that emotions could drive a narrative to make a Jedi go to the dark side. And that metaphor can also be used in real life, but that's a whole different conversation. Speaking of Baby Yoda, yo, we finally figured out what his freaking name is. Are you ready for this? His name is... You know I gotta add a little spoof in there, man. But no, his name is actually Grogu. And I bet you a couple of likes that they named him Grogu because it sounds like a frog makes, like Grogu. I really think that's how they named him Grogu. But hey, that's just my hypothesis on it. What do you think? How the name came about? I really thought that was the name of the species. That's the first thing I took out of that name was that's the name of the species, which was of Yoda and Yaddle. And I was like, oh, now we finally know. We're getting the pieces of not only do we know who Baby Yoda is, but we also know the connection of the other Jedi, which Ahsoka mentions Grandmaster Yoda in the series. So that was pretty great. Overall story wasn't over the top. It was a beautiful blend. When I tell you I really felt immersed in this series, in this episode, like they really took the environment, the sound. Oh my God. They allow us to be engulfed in the episode. Dave Filoni really wanted to make sure, like, hey, we waited for this moment for a live action Ahsoka, so take it all in. There wasn't any rush movements. When you see Ahsoka, you see her in her full appearance, taking out her adversaries one by one and having unique styles of approach to attacks. Very beautiful. And when it came to the fight between her and the main antagonist, I don't remember her name, but I'm gonna keep saying main antagonist. The way that antagonist took that spear and just hit the ground was like, I was like, oh, my ears are wet. They're wet. I love it. And then at the same time as Ahsoka and the main antagonist are eyeing each other, the Mandalorian and another ex-military guy are eyeing each other as well, betting on what's going on the other side of the building. And I was like, this right here is really in tune with each other. Like, you really get a sense of what's going to happen, heads or tails, who's going to win, who's going to lose, and they play that very well. It wasn't childish, it wasn't played off immaturely or prematurely. It really flowed throughout the duration of the whole episode. And you can tell that I'm not being scripted at this point because I'm trying to go off of like, hey, this is how I really feel. So rock with me. If you like what I'm saying so far, go ahead and hit that like button. But anyway, this moment really captivates what Star Wars can really be. And Dave Filoni really tied that in very well with this episode. The previous ones that were getting like, okay, let's pick up the pace a little bit. But this right here was enough dead silence, but enough action to keep me entertained, to keep me focused, to keep me wanting more. And I definitely got a well-deserved package out of that. And she kept asking the main antagonist, where is your master? Now I'm thinking like it's another Sith Lord or another Jedi gone rogue again. But she mentions motherfucking Grand Admiral Thrawn. I'm like, yo, oh my God, they're just dropping gems. The lore is so rich in this season, in this series as a whole, and it makes me want to dive more into it. I'm a Clone Wars guy. To hear these characters being bring back into the limelight on live TV show makes me want to look back into the New Republic, during the Galactic Civil War, Empire, Rebels, look through all that again and more, so I could be more engulfed into this season post Rebels versus Empire. All I'm saying is this episode has been for this season, I would say, has been a great episode thus far. And again, it's not because Ahsoka is in it, but that was a great addition to it. It was the pacing, it was the sound that was being used to play on with the plot, to add on with the tension between the protagonist and the antagonist. Everything that was engulfed into the scenery, with the subplot of rescuing the innocents that were held captive in the village. That was a good add-on to it. Different ways of how holding them hostage. They were literally being used like lampposts essentially, and I was like, "Oh, this is highly, highly disturbing," but very well putting. And near the end of the episode, where you find out that again, Ahsoka Tano is not going to train Grogu, and so she tells him to go to another planet called Typhoon, I think. Head to an ancient Jedi temple and place him on top of a mountain. There you may find another Jedi, or Grogu will find his new course of action or decides his path. One of the questions that I definitely want to ask you guys, troopers, is this. Do you think she's going to have a return in the near future? Or do you think she was just a one and done, and then she's going to have her own spin-off later on created by Dave Filoni? My next question to y'all is this. How do you think Grand Admiral Thrawn is going to be entering the Mandalorian? Like, he's going to come out with a bunch of ships. He's going to come out with a bunch of stormtroopers just raging on these planets. How do you think this season is going to introduce Admiral Thrawn? In summary, man, by far a great episode. This is just me off the dome, just letting you guys know how I think about it, trying to capture this moment while it's fresh on my mind. But yeah, this is definitely like an 8.5, 9 out of 10 for season 2 by far. Love it. You guys did a great job. But hey, not to be long-winded, but that's all I got. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, what you feel about this episode. And go ahead and answer those 2 questions that I mentioned earlier in the comments below too. Yo, this is Rex Rowley. You know what you do, man. Peace.